the NFL on EA Sports, where we'll see the teams from Broadway Joe's Guarantee and Super Bowl III. It's the Indianapolis Colts and the New York Jets, and it comes your way next.
From the stadium that hosted Super Bowl 48 back in 2014, there's a look at MetLife Stadium here in East Rutherford. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis, thrilled to be with you from the broadcast booth. And partner, before we get this thing started, what are you going to be watching?
Who gets off to a fast start? In horse racing terms, they talk about catching a flyer out of the gate. Who sets the pace and makes the other team chase?
Zerline set to get us started here, and off we go from MetLife Stadium. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their signal caller in his second year of the NFL now.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there in every snap. A truly powerful arm, one is capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm time when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
That's a gain of 13 and a very solid opening play for this offense.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and turn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Richardson to throw off play action. On the move to it. And right away, he lost the football. And one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
First and 10, Taylor now. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Ball on the 39. Here's the 2nd and 8. Now Richardson is going to keep it running right. They'll get 5 out of the keeper, but now it's 3rd down.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it. And while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
Here's 3rd and 3. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. They'll be tackled about 2 yards shy on the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and makes sure he spills it for a small gain.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. Now it's Richardson. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. So the drive stays alive after the 4th down conversion. 1st and 10 inside the 30. A short throw. This is caught by Cox. Just a gain of a couple there. And that will bring up 2nd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. In that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
They get into the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Richardson looking to throw this. That is caught. And the Colts are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. They'll run here with Taylor, and they'll get this from the 8 to the 5, pick up a 3.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
And the ball smacked down on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. On the option left, Richardson. And holding it, maybe the wrong decision as he's stopped in the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Boy, the pursuit there, terrific from the linebacking core.
Oh, it certainly was, because so many times on an option play, you'll see a linebacker make a beeline for the quarterback, and then zip, one cut, and he's grasping it air. But this time, he locked in on him the whole way, took an excellent angle, and it's
in trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. A nightmare on 3rd and goal. He's sacked, and multiple players broke through the line to get him.
Well, it's about teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
You know, he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. Gay's kick is good, and the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. Even though they didn't find the end zone, they have to be pretty pleased with how they moved the ball on the ground because we know that that was one of their big goals in this game.
And that really goes through the entire offense because when you're running the ball effectively, just about everyone's involved. It's not just the guy carrying the football. It's everyone blocking for him, both inside and on the perimeter.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. So here come the Jets for their initial possession of the game. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
There have been very few quarterbacks in the NFL who have been as consistent throughout their career as Aaron Rodgers. He's been good for so long, and we've seen no decline in his skills. His accuracy and arm strength continue to elevate the talent around him, and his in-game mistakes, few and far between.
To the sideline and incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on 1st down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in the spot where the only people who can make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now a play fake. Rodgers. Connection made to Record. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. They'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
Here's 3rd and 7. Rodgers now to throw. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
They'll run for the first time with Breece Hall. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. During that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Here's Rodgers. Got a man. It's the rookie out of the 3rd round. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. To throw, it's Rodgers. Wilson's got it complete. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. That's good for a first down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want their body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping to...
And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Garrett Wilson, 25 yards for a touchdown. And the Jets are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first quarter lead. Personally, for him, a great opening drive. He had 3 catches, including the touchdown.
That felt like tremendous scouting, great film watching, and creating a game plan to start this off, not only to get him involved, but to send a message to the defense. You can have a lot to handle in this one.
Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And Garrett Wilson capped things off with a touchdown grab. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get a big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now Richardson is going to keep it running right. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Now that's what he can do when he keeps the football. It's not a huge game, but it shows how hard it can be to stop it.
Yeah, I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
From the gun, it's Taylor. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find Mahomes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through him.
All play action. Richardson. On a heavy rush, and down he goes. C.J. Mosley, the linebacker, making sure his presence is felt. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Here's Richardson to throw. And he's going to go down again. The former third overall pick, Quentin Williams there to bring him down. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front seven defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
Here now, a 3rd and 20. Back to throw. Here's Richardson. A short throw. This is caught by Cox. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stopped him well short.
The game knocks this one through, and they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So 2 first-quarter field goal attempts for him, and he's converted on both.
I like the positive right there. 2 for 2, got the points on the board. The negative side is that he scored touchdowns. And, of course, going forward in this game, that's going to be the aim, and hopefully he'll be kicking extra points instead.
Back on the field come the New York Jets for their second drive. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now, defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the pass.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now, they're just cutting them to shreds.
Now 2nd and 5. Now Rodgers. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Excellent defensive effort to get to him and provide a little contact before the catch could be made cleanly.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. To throw is Rodgers. Room past the 35. And finally down at the 41-yard line. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Here's Rodgers to throw. Going right back to Wilson. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it'll be 2nd down. Rodgers again now. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
That was a nice job defensively of disguising their coverage and making it difficult for the quarterback to lock in on a receiver, and it results in an incomplete pass.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Rodgers going to throw. Forced out to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And the defense coming through on third down. A loss of 7 to bring up fourth.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on fourth down. And deep to return is Josh Downs. And looking up into the sun, he's able to make the fair catch inside the 20-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Colts are going to take over, albeit deep in their own territory. They go play action with Richardson. This will be taken in by Michael Pittman. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Now here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give to Taylor. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
That was a pretty good job defensively to hold him to a 2-yard run, but I've got to think this offensive line, they're asking their quarterback for a different type of a run, one that they rely on, one they have confidence in, one they feel like they can block.
Richardson. He's got his man. It's Pierce. Will go down as a gain of 6. And now that sets up 3rd and 2.
When you see zone defense and you know you got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for the first with Taylor. And some pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. 51 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they had 3 tight ends in on that set.
And these guys are punching really well. I use boxing analogies a lot. A lot of coaches have told me that when you line up to run the football, it's 10 fistfights along the line of scrimmage, right? You've got to win your share. These 3 tight ends, they almost always win their fistfights.
2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
They give to Taylor out of the gun. Now 3rd down is looming, a pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
7th play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Richardson out of the shotgun. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 22-yard line. Another good reception there. The Colts on the march.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Richardson looking to throw. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
So it looks like they stopped some fighting them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. If this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Here's 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, Richardson. He's got the tight end, Mo Alley Cox. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. After one, a 1-point game, 7-6. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Colts in possession as they go to work on a 1st and goal. Richardson working from the gun. Step, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Jermaine Johnson credited with that sack. Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. On the option left, Richardson. Showed off the toughness, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6. He's able to call his own number for 8 that time, but it leaves him with a 3rd down. A little do-it-yourself run right there. A nice game.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get, so he did a nice job protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. And now a stoppage, and looks like we have a Colt who was shaken up on that last play. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. Matt Gay now gets ready for the field goal try. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Gay's kick is good, and they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. And he'll have a Jets 1st down as the tackle made here at the 36.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all. Challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Now Rodgers. Well, that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. They'll give to Hall. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets 1st down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's say, they'll spot it right in midfield at the 50.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Straight ahead is Hall. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. The completion on first didn't get much. The run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
Throwing is Rodgers. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
And this defense definitely in his head there on third down, and he's pretty fortunate. They didn't call for grounding on this one. That was a good 10 feet over everyone's head.
Now the veteran Thomas Morstead on to punt it away. 46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. Now Jonathan Taylor and the Colts offense retakes center stage. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back. And that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. The tackle by Quincy Williams.
Offense looked a little bit discouraged after that play, shaking their heads a bit, looking at each other. I think they thought they'd get a lot more out of that call. Sometimes you do get the running lane you want. And other times, the defensive front, they just break up the play before it can get going.
Richardson looking to throw this. It's his target, the tight end, Mo Alley Cox. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. The offense on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Running straight ahead, Taylor. And he is going to have a Colts first down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Play action. Now Richardson. Staying on his feet. Fighting through, and he's got space. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
No shortage of impressive moments from him thus far. Now he's halfway to the century mark, and we're still in the first half. There's been no answer for his running ability so far by the defense. I can't wait to see what adjustments they'll have to make during the halftime break.
So in jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Off the option, here's Taylor. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Solomon Thomas there on the tackle. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive is going pretty well. I could come right back at them.
He'll let one go deep for Downs. It's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Now Richardson. Pass taken in by his big tight end. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Mo Alley Cox, 39 yards. And the Colts are able to stretch out their lead.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
Matt Gay on for the extra point. And that makes it a 9-point game. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. And New York set to take the field. The Rodgers and the Jets now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Throwing now is Rodgers. That is caught. And he is going to have the Jets 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the 1st. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
To throw, it's Rodgers. This pass out wide to Hall. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll leave them with a 3rd and just a yard. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. They'll run with Hall. He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. Calling no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Yes, it's the 1st half, but we'll see if that stuff there on 3rd and 1 comes back to haunt him.
I hope you don't mind, but it's not going to stop me from putting a check mark next to this play. Let's look back as this game progresses and see if this is one of the key plays in the game, even though it occurred early.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New York. Fair catch signal for and taken at about the 15-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
I know we can't hear what's going on in that huddle right now, but I'll guarantee you at least one offensive lineman is saying, my bad, we simply couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage. We've got to do a better job trying to root those guys out of there.
2nd down, another run with Taylor. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 68 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge. That's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set here as they try to stop this 3rd down. Oh, the option to give to Taylor here. And Taylor, I don't think he got there. No, he did not. Unable to break free, and he's marked short. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped them, bringing up 4th down.
On 4th down, the Colts will call on Rigoberto Sanchez for the punt. It's a 39-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. The Jets ready to get going again here on offense. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
It was Kwity Paye who made the stop coming off the edge. 2nd and 10. Here's Hall again. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. The Jets on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 8. Now it's Rodgers. Wilson's got it complete. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
From the 25, here's 2nd down and 8. Now Richardson back to throw it. His throw incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand. And that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Back to throw. Here's Richardson. That's complete to Pierce. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Up the middle, here's Taylor. And slow going there as they'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately, he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Now we're at the 41, 2nd and 9. Now a handoff, Taylor with it. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. They'll come to the line here, needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Off play action. Richardson. He'll be taken down. The Jets get him there for a sack. Clinton Williams. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. Fair catch call. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Jets will take over. Rodgers and the Jets now with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throwing for the out route, he finds Wilson. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Here's 2nd and 3. Now Rodgers. Going right back to Wilson. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a 1st down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver trying to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Over the middle and complete to Wilson. This one he stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? Not like any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down.
Boy, everything clicking on this drive. He's 4 for 4 now, and that throw, maybe the best of the bunch. This offense is really humming, and they pick up another 1st down.
A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Now, throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game. It has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another 1st down.
2nd and 10. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. Oh, he's going up top for Wilson. Down there, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. Garrett Wilson with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Jets get a late score here in the final minute of the 1st half.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the 1st half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did. They didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. Now Zerline on and the extra point. And it's good. It cuts it to 2. 16-14 our score. So the drive there took 6 plays. And Garrett Wilson capped things off with a touchdown grab. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Colts going to take over now late in this 1st half. And with a little under a minute to go, still time to try to put a drive together to add to their lead should they so choose. His pass left side to Downs. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down. Richardson. Gets into the hands of Mo Alley Cox, the tight end. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Richardson out of the shotgun. Over the middle, hauled in by Pierce. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here Richardson yet again. And that is caught on the right sideline and out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at 2nd down.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops and escape this drive.
Richardson working from the gun. And he's got Pierce. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 19. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. And Gay knocks this one through, and that will push the lead up to 5. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And with Rodgers behind center, you wonder if they'll take one shot at this. And he'll let this go deep for Lazard. And it's caught inside the 30. So we've come to halftime in a 5-point game. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
We saw a couple of high-octane offenses getting it done in the first half. Both teams had no problems moving the football. And you have to think, the team whose defense shows up in the second half is going to be the one who walks out of here with a victory.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Jets offense and Aaron Rodgers getting set for their next drive. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point, and now he's getting the ball to start the second half. How about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
Hall on a give up the middle. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game. That's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides. But to see the ball in a running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
On first down, right back to Hall. And he'll be brought down just shy of 45. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
On play action, Rodgers. He dumps this one off here to Hall. 2 yards on the pickup there. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Here's Rodgers. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they'll get him to the ground. And he has another first down at the Colts 39. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Back to the ground with Hall. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. 54 yards rushing forward to the ball game now on 14 carries. That one definitely helps as they try to push the ball down the field here, trailing early in the third quarter.
And even though they're trailing, not abandoning the running game. People may call it an adjustment. I think it's just much more sticking to what works for you and continuing to have faith in it. And the running game is starting to pay off.
And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Defense able to get there, swarm to the football. Zilch, 0 nada there for the offense, Charles.
Yeah, it really was an example of good team defense, wasn't it? Everyone handled their responsibilities, and they held them to no gain.
They'll go again with Hall. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. 24 yards for Breece Hall. And the Jets have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half.
You get in a 2nd and long situation down here in the red zone, I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass, let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Rodgers and the Jet offense staying out there. They'll go for 2. They're going to keep it on the ground. And he is going to get in for the 2. Although there is a flag on the field, but it looked like a defender jumped.
A penalty is declined.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 to 27. The Colts offense and Anthony Richardson ready for this next possession. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. A carry by Taylor to start the drive. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now. Hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Richardson to throw off play action. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Fast, slow, it doesn't matter. If you give a quarterback enough room to escape, he can hit you for a big gain. You've got to give him a little more focus moving forward.
Richardson looking to throw this. Throw out right, pulled in by Garrett. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that's going to bring up second down. Now Richardson. Escaping the pressure. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Cole Williams able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game. Even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Will McDonald able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And that's his 2nd sack in this one.
And you just can't ask a defensive end or an edge rusher to play any better than what we're seeing right now. And partner, it's still just the 3rd quarter. I'm thinking he's not done yet. Even if he's not getting the sack, he's bringing a lot of pressure to the pocket.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. The Jets offense and Breece Hall headed out onto the field. And you have to imagine this defense saying, how do we stop this guy? He has run roughshod through him to this point in the 3rd quarter. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the #1 thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kept it on the ground.
Rodgers going to throw. This complete to Curley. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 14 yards that time for number 14.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A handoff for Hall. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. It was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From the 43, here's a 2nd down and 6. Throwing now is Rodgers. Throwing quickly to Wilson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a 1st down here. He's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the 1st.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection. And
now look out. Rodgers lost the football. And the Colts pick it up. So turnovers, Charles, you figure will be key in the 2nd half, and that's a big giveaway there.
Yeah, and as you and I both know, coaches are always preaching ball security, and no more often than right here in the 2nd half of a tight football game. Now you've got to believe what the coaches are saying and take care of that football.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
So give them 2 yards there on the completion, and it's second down. From the gun, it's Taylor. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right to the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stop that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
From the shotgun, Richardson. He's got his man. It's Pierce. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 14 yards that time for number 14.
A field goal helps, but a touchdown gets you the lead. That had to be the message transmitted in the huddle. And they delivered there as that throw is going to keep the drive alive. And even better than that, set them up for the 1st and goal.
Now Richardson back to throw it. This is caught. That's good for a gain of 6. 2nd and goal.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find a soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right?
And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Josh Downs from 3 yards out. And the Colts have retaken a 3rd quarter lead. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And that will make this a 4-point game. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Well, once again, here comes Garrett Wilson, the Jets offense. He's having a day here in quarter number 3. Over 100 yards, couple touchdowns. Every receiver's hope for when they head into that game in the National Football League.
And his team is loving what he's giving them. Of course, the yardage is terrific, but I think it's what you mentioned, the 2 touchdowns. That's the big one because he's paying off his results downfield.
And still more time here, 3rd quarter. We'll see what else he has in store for us.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Ball again on 2nd down. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the 1st down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
I don't care what the emphasis is in the NFL at any given time. Every defense is still going to say their #1 goal every game is stop the run. And right now, they're not doing that, and that really chips away at your confidence.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. This one deep for Wilson. It's caught inside the 25. Now he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Garrett Wilson, 69 yards. And the Jets have answered back with a 3rd quarter touchdown of their own to retake the lead. Pretty good response. They had given up the touchdown and the lead, but they struck back.
And I love the way that they just saw it happen, took a quick exhale on the sidelines. So let's go get it back, and fast. Let's go ahead and throw the ball downfield and get our own 6 points.
A huge chunk play to regain that lead. Zerline now for the PAT. And that one gives them a 3-point lead. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And Garrett Wilson capped things off with a touchdown grab. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Anthony Richardson and the offense back out. And he had the touchdown on the last drive, also 4 for 4. Very, very effective. What does he need to do to translate that forward into this drive?
Not think that what he saw in coverages last time is exactly what he's going to get again. He's got to play ahead and start thinking to himself, okay, we just did that. What are they going to take away now? What do we go to as a counter? And continue to encourage his offensive line to continue to give him time.
They were really good on the last drive.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So in jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Off the option, here's Taylor. It was Chuck Clark coming up to make the tackle.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
2nd and 5. Back to throw. Here's Richardson. Still going inside the 20. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Alec Pierce, 39 yards. And the Colts have taken the lead here this 3rd quarter.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Gay is on for the point after. And that will make this a 4-point game. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it was capped off by a touchdown catch from Alec Pierce. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The home team's offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. Now Hall to start the drive. And some room to run now. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 123 yards rushing for him now as this sensational afternoon continues. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
Here's Rodgers to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now Rodgers. Working the middle of the field, and he's got him incomplete. And he is going to have the Jets first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
This to the sideline and over everybody. Incomplete. No flags forthcoming, though. Maybe a break there. That looked like a clear throwaway to me.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Handoff, running left. Here's Hall. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
7th play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Now it's Rodgers. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
So Rodgers will depart, and on is Greg Zuerlein for the Jets field goal. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. Zuerlein's kick is up and through, and that'll bring him back within a point. So give him 3 on that drive, and normally you'd say we'll take it, but the way points have been flying around, it feels like a little bit of a letdown.
Yeah, you just have to wonder, are field goals going to be enough? Because as you pointed out, the way touchdowns have been scored, does kicking a field goal actually put you at a disadvantage the rest of the way?
And able to get this out to the 25. In the offense ready to go once again, and we'll get another look at Alec Pierce. And I know that they double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. How many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
They'll outbreak from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now Richardson, he's going to keep it running right. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The decision to keep it turns out to be a good one, 11 yards and a first down. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there, and worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play. Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Now here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give to Taylor. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Back to Taylor on first down. And he'll be taken down after a decent gain, and that will bring us to the end of this 3rd quarter play. So both offenses come to life here in this 3rd quarter as this is shaping up for a good finish. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. And we've got a dandy here. A one-point game as we begin the fourth. And they run the option on second down. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. A gain of 8 on the keeper and a first down.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone who has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
That'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the fourth. It's his target, the tight end, Mo Alley Cox. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that'll make it second down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down. Now it's Richardson. Over the middle, complete. That's Pierce. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down. Stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Taylor. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be second and goal. They're mounting a nice drive here. Good chunk of yardage there again. O-line, they've been solid this drive.
They have that look about them right now that says, if you do anything but run the ball behind us, you're crazy. They have really moved it well on this drive, and they want to finish it off.
And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. The coverage good, the pressure good, leads to the sack, and it's third and goal now.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, third and goal. Here's Richardson to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. A nightmare on third and goal. He's sacked, and multiple players broke through the line to get him.
And it appears to me that someone's defensive coordinator is jockeying for a raise. A sack on second and goal, a sack on third and goal. Now brings up a decision on fourth down.
This one no doubt important for Matt Gay. This to get the lead up to 4. Gay's kick is good, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. So it's another field goal here. He may need to ice his leg after this one. That's now 5 field goals converted in this game alone.
Yeah, get the trainer. They're going to need this guy. And they've needed every single one of the field goals he's made, too. If they're going to get out of here with a win, I say he gets a game ball.
After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And they will break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. The home team's offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes the right read seemingly every time. A gain of 5, and it's second down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Now Rodgers. That one taken in by Corey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Rodgers now to throw. Open open man here is Conklin. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. And motion left goes a tight end. Straight ahead is Hall. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
On play action, now Rodgers. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
You couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
Hall again on 2nd down. And he's in. Touchdown, Giants. Brees scored his 2nd touchdown in the afternoon. And the Jets have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. This has definitely been a back-and-forth affair, and now they have the lead here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, and they gave up the field goal on that last drive, as we remember, but it felt like their offense told them, don't worry about it, we got your backs. We'll come back with a touchdown of our own, and they did.
Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it was capped off by a Brees Hall touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. And the Colts getting ready to go. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in the tightrope. Richardson looking to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
From the 34-yard line, here's 2nd and 2. Running straight ahead, Taylor. And he's going to lose yardage here. This would be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt, I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they like some matchups that they had. Thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. This offense and their running back headed back onto the field. And they call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. Throw left side complete. That's Hall. He'll go out of bounds. It looks like right at the 40. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
But they've certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on first down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up second and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
I'll give to Hall running right. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And a good run here as he'll run all the way down to the 40-yard line. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you got to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
That one goes for 24 yards.
These guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the fourth quarter.
So the ball down to the 16 here for first and 10. Out of the gun, they run it with Hall. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the fourth quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand. They're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
Throwing is Rodgers. Manning, he hits him in stride. And the Jets are looking at first and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw it, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
To throw, it's Rodgers. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. 4 touchdown passes now for Aaron Rodgers. And the Jets get an important score there to extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. Now, there was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Now Zerline on and the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it ends with a Jet touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit. Richardson. Throw over the middle, going to be caught here by Mo Cox. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. 2nd and a couple. Running left, Taylor. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
And this is going to be a Colts first down as the tackle made it about the 43-yard line. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right, they did pick up the first down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Richardson looking to throw this. That's complete to Pierce. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 and enemy territory. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up. They've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. It's a gain of 34.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
These are running back numbers that he's accumulating right now. Received double-digit carries and has rewarded them by breaking the century mark in rushing, in addition to what he's done through the air. Definitely MVP caliber football we're witnessing.
Out to his left. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Anthony Richardson taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Colts have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a 1-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Extra point by Gain is up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So now out comes this offense, led by their quarterback as they take over once more. And you get a look at the numbers, they don't even tell the whole story. This has been a tremendous performance to this point. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
Three points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. To throw is Rodgers. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to be out around the 45-yard line. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way and worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll give to Hall. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Here's Hall again. And once again, he'll get possibly back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Two runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. Now Rodgers. This completes a Coley. And to the 46 he goes and no further. So he is well short of the first down marker. You hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. So Richardson and the Colts now down by a field goal, a little over a minute to go. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down. Richardson. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Inside a minute to go. Here's 2nd and 10 now. Here's Richardson. And he can't get it thrown away. He's taken down. And going the books is a 7-yard loss on the sack. And it's 3rd down. We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away for pretty good yardage. At that time, they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
Well, how do you let a guy get that wide open in the 2-minute drill?
There's absolutely no way that that's coached or taught. That's an absolute complete breakdown on that play.
One last shot for Richardson. This ball intercepted. Picked off by DJ Reed. And the Jets are going to hang on on the final play to get the turnover to seal this football game. Charles, normally when you see a group score this many points, it's a complete blowout. But instead, they needed every single one of those in this close, high-scoring affair.
Hey, Brandon, I'm still on the edge of my seat after that one because when you have that much scoring and it still comes down to one possession game at the end, that's not something we see very often. In this case, these offenses, they brought it. The defenses, they're going to need some work going forward.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Jets as we say so long from MetLife Stadium.